Okay, so in this video, we've added in some structural floors. You can't necessarily see them in this floor plan, but they're there. And what we're going to add is the finished flooring that goes on top of these. Um, a quick note about flooring, there are some different options, and I want to show you them briefly before we actually use the flooring tool. So where I have my cursor is in the project browser. And I have this group here called families. I'm just going to expand that so we can look at our flooring options kind of in a simple folder layout. So if I click the plus next to floors, I can see the available types of floors to me. We've used the wood joist 12-inch. We did our first floor structural flooring with that, and we've used the 4-inch concrete, which we used in our basement. Now, our options that are given to us for flooring in the house are carpet, deck, and VCT, which would be a vinyl composite tile. What I feel is really missing here is hardwood. Okay, so we're going to go through the process of creating our own flooring option called hardwood. And to do that, we can just use one of these existing options. And we're going to go use the VCT. So I double click on that. And we get this pop-up dialog box where we can click here and say duplicate this option. So you're going to have to give it a name. Default, it says VCT2. I want to create a level or really a material for hardwood. So I'm just going to overwrite that and we'll call it hardwood. And the first thing you'll have to do is click edit. So you want to edit the material and likely the thickness. I mean, if we were getting down to the nitty gritty, hardwood is always 3/4 of an inch thick. I say always, but almost always 3/4 of an inch thick. But I'm going to leave the thickness as it is, as a 1/4 inch, because it's just easier and it matches up with all the other thicknesses of the flooring materials that Revit already gives you. So the VCT, the carpet, um, and the other one I'm forgetting about, it's already done as 1/4 inch. So we're just going to work with that, but we will change the appearance of it. So we're going to click on this button, and here you get a material browser. And what we'll select in the material browser is wood flooring. And we can make some adjustments to the pattern. You could change how wide the planks are. I'm going to leave kind of everything that's here. Why? Because I haven't really messed with this, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to cancel, but you could play with that if you wanted to. Appearance, you can change some colors. Okay, so if you wanted a darker shade of wood, you could click on this button and go for some kind of darker brown. I'm going to use what it gives me. And the finish type, you can adjust all of this. You could go glossy varnish, unfinished. Well, hardwood floors are generally finished, which means they have a layer of a coating on them to protect them. So I'm going to say glossy varnish. And what's it used for? Well, it's used for flooring. Okay, so we'll click that. We'll say OK. We come here. We can see now we've got wood flooring as our material. The thickness is 1/4 inch, and that's our floor for hardwood. We'll click OK and OK again. Now we can actually do some flooring, and the flooring tool works the same for finished flooring as it did for the structural flooring. So what we'll do is let's add tile to the bathroom, hardwood to this. I believe this is a bedroom. We'll add hardwood here, and carpet to this other bedroom. Okay, so to get started, we're going to go to our architecture toolbar, and we're going to click on flooring. Okay, now I'm going to select my material, and we'll start with the bathroom. So I'm going to use this vinyl composite tile. And when we do finished floors, this pick walls tool that we used last time doesn't work so well. It actually tries to run through walls, interior walls that are already there. So the better option for sure is line. Okay. With the line tool, you want to go to the very inside face of the wall. I'm just going to go around here. This is my bathroom. When you are going to transition between materials, okay, so in my bathroom, I'm going to have tile. Over here in my hallway, I probably want to have another material. So when you transition, you always want your transition to happen underneath the door. That way, when the door is closed, you don't see that transition. Okay, so we're going to go to the midpoint here between our door jambs. We drew our line for our flooring, and now we can come back and continue along the wall perimeter. Once you have a closed profile, you can click the green check mark, and it will give you an error. I found that it likes to do this when you go through the midpoint of door openings like I did, and we're just going to ignore it. Okay, so I'm going to click the X on that dialog box and make it go away. So now we've got a tiled floor in our bathroom area. And I think I said I was going to make this bedroom right here into hardwood. So I'm going to repeat the command back to architecture, over to flooring. I'm going to select my hardwood, and I am going to use this align tool and get right to the face of the wall and continue to make a perimeter in this room. Down into the corner, come along the wall right to the door hinge. We're going to come to the midpoint of the door jamb, which is that triangle. You see the purple triangle that popped up? That's midpoint. Okay, I was kind of zoom out and zoom in as I go. It's a more efficient way than doing a bunch of panning with your mouse if you were zoomed right in. Okay, so I've got the closed perimeter, which is good. Green check mark. There's my hardwood. Again, you get the error, and we'll just ignore this. Okay, so hardwood flooring, tile flooring, and we'll come over here and do carpeting. So for carpeting, I'm sure you can guess. Okay, same process, selecting the different material. Here's carpet. And again, we're going to use that line tool. We're going to start right in one of the corners. We're going to go over to the door opening, and we're going to come into the midpoint of the door jamb, which would be here. It actually looks like, you see where I snapped to, a little bit short of where I wanted to be, so I'm just going to extend that line. Now I can zoom out, find midpoint with the triangle, come over, find midpoint over here with the triangle, down and around, and continuing the perimeter work. Zooming out and zooming in to make my life a little faster here. And finally, we're going to get to this corner, click, and green checkbox. Okay. Close there. Now if we zoom out, we can see we've got our 3 different types of flooring. We could do whatever we wanted to the rest of the house. This is just an example of how you can use a couple different types of finished floors to really give your house the materials and the appearance that you're going for. Okay, so I'll speak to you again in the next video.